In a small forgotten village nestled between sun-kissed hills, there lived an old woman named Amina. Her hands were rough, her back was bent, but her heart was the purest gold. She had only one son, Yusef, whom she had raised alone after her husband passed when the boy was just a baby. Amina worked as a washerwoman for the wealthy families of the village. Day and night, she scrubbed and rinsed and twisted the heavy wet clothes with her hands until her knuckles bled. But she never complained. Every coin she earned went into raising Yusef, feeding him, clothing him, and even saving what little she could for his education. "Someday, you will be a great man," she would whisper to him at night, her fingers gently stroking his hair. "Not for gold, not for fame, but because your heart is kind." But life, as it often does, had different plans. As Yusef grew, so did his frustration. He hated being poor. He hated the torn shoes he wore and the second-hand books. He began to resent his mother, blaming her for everything they didn't have. "You could have married again," he once snapped. "We could have lived better than this." Amina only smiled. "And risk someone treating you like less than a son? No, my dear. You are worth every struggle." But her words fell on deaf ears. By the time Yusef turned 18, he left the village with anger in his heart and dreams of riches in his head. He went to the city, leaving behind the only person who had ever truly loved him. Years passed. Amina aged. Her hands no longer held the strength they once did. She would sit by the window every day, staring at the dirt road that led out of the village, hoping, just hoping, that her son might return. He never did. In the city, Yusef struggled at first. He slept on benches, did odd jobs, and starved more days than he could count. But slowly, things began to change. A merchant saw his potential, hired him, and mentored him. Yusef worked hard and rose quickly. Eventually, he started his own business, a delivery company that became wildly successful. Money poured in. He bought a car, a house, fine clothes, and everything he once dreamed of. But something was missing. Every time he looked in the mirror, he felt empty. Every success felt hollow. Then one night, as he was scrolling through his old photos, he saw a picture, his mother, holding him as a baby, smiling despite her exhaustion. Her eyes, so full of love. Something inside him cracked. The next morning, he left everything behind and drove back to the village. It had been 10 years. When he arrived, he barely recognized the house. The roof sagged. The garden was overgrown. He knocked, trembling. The door opened slowly. And there she was. Older. Thinner. Weaker. But still smiling. She gasped. "Yusef." He fell to his knees, tears streaming down his face. "I'm so sorry, Mama. I left you. I chased money and forgot you." Amina raised his face with her wrinkled hand. "But you came back. And that is all a mother needs." From that day on, Yusef never left her side. He brought her to the city, built her a beautiful home, and gave her the life she never asked for, but always deserved. He hired caretakers, cooks, and nurses. But still, every morning, it was he who brought her tea, who sat by her side, and who listened to her stories. The once hard-hearted boy had become a man of compassion. People in the city often asked him the secret to his success. He would always say the same thing. I found riches the day I remembered the woman who gave me everything when I had nothing. And that, dear listener, is the story of how a son lost in pride found his way back to the one place he truly belonged, his mother's arms.